Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. Got a beautiful message for you, coming to you live from station WEBM. That's wonderful, Eddie B. Marcus, operating smack down from the top of the sky, the spiritual realm, down to wherever you are. And I hope this message blesses you, goes through and around and about you, and is essential to your being as the blood that flows through your veins. And when it's all done, you begin to know more about life and willing to reach for life than ever before by the visit of the Spirit. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I just got back from a little walk with my little dog. Took a little bit of time to contemplate, think about the moment of the day. That includes you and what can be done to make our lives more eventful and more exciting daily as an expression of what we've come to know. And so I began to think about, well, before I left, I saw this commercial that was on social media. And they had this gentleman who is from Minnesota who's going to run as a candidate as United States Senator from the state of Minnesota. The amazing thing is he was a Republican until Donald Trump came in, and with all of the things that Donald Trump is about, he couldn't stand it, and he couldn't understand why others could, but nevertheless, he figured he'd better get back on the other side of the fence, where it seems to be some sanity, and I commend him for that. There's also a young lady who, after Al Franken decided to step down, the state of Minnesota placed her there to finish out this term, at least until this election. And so everybody knows that she's obviously going to be in it as a continued representation. And this other gentleman, I don't know if there are others, there might be. But each of these, I must say to you, ladies and gentlemen, are excellent people. They are excellent for the Democratic platform. They will serve the Democrats well. Now, I say with some assurance and confidence in that because most of my life I was a Democrat. When I came up, my folks were Democrats. What else can I be but a Democrat? And so I always saw that the Democrats seemed to have been a little bit more liberal, a little bit more compassionate than Republicans. And so I have always been a Democrat. But then one day I learned that the Democrats were not good enough, just like Republicans are not good enough. And I could see that Democrats were better. Now I can see that things can be so much better. And so while these gentlemen and this lady would be excellent people here to represent the Democratic Party, I myself am not running and asking for you to support me as that because, as I've said, the Democratic Party is not good enough for me. I'm going for the gusto. I'm going for the best that I can see. And I don't know if anybody else want to ride with me or not, but that's exactly what I'm shooting for. And I'm hoping that I got enough energy in truth and that there are enough hungry ones of you out there that will grab this and eat it like gumbo and take it in and fly with me to life. Now, what am I basically saying? I'm saying that in situations, me being the United States Senator from the state of Minnesota, and all aligned in what is most progressive for the people, that's where I'm going. If it's with the Democrats, I'm supporting Democrats. If it's with Republicans, I'm supporting that of the Republicans. But I'm not resting my loins in either one of these camps. My vision is that all Americans, beginning with America, have accessible to them opportunities to exercise their own careers, the careers of their own choosing, that gives them the greatest pleasure. You've heard my story before. That's what I'm for. I don't want a single soul in the United States of America without a career of their choosing. They are here to exercise this, ladies and gentlemen. I heard a lady on the news this morning on The View. They were saying something about health care. Sure, some nations could get health care and I think it's more susceptible to some kind of chaotic stuff they call that I'm not sure of. But people were saying we could do better here for our healthcare system. And someone was saying, well, we know we can do better, but when you start talking about healthcare for everyone, how much would it cost? Could we pay for it? Somebody might say, you take some of that money back out of the military. Sure you could. But then some people will say, well, we need to be protected. And so that means that somebody gotta be without adequate health care, because who's gonna pay for it? That's the question. I think everybody who has accepted this way of living, who have accepted this system as the best on earth, and none can be better. In fact, it was given to us from God. We have been led to believe. As long as we think that, then we are caught in a trap. But the question was, who's going to pay for it? Well, if we live in a capitalist system where it cannot be paid for, then considering the fact that health care is a basic human right, it's an inalienable right. For being alive, health care is a right to it, to its fullest, from the womb to the tomb. It's a inalienable right from God itself. Now, are you saying who's going to pay for it? So if you're saying who's going to pay for it, then we're saying the lack of payment is the reason that it must be denied. But you can't find a solution that way. My solution, considering it's about giving health care to everyone, is to take pay out of the whole process. Out of the whole process. Take pay out of it. Now, to some of you, that still might sound even more crazier than before. So how does this thing work? Here's how it works simply, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to give you its simplest form. The people who are in the health profession, if you're there to make money, hit the door and open up every venue possible, everywhere across this country, for any and everybody who just wants to be in the medical profession, at whatever level you desire. Get in it. Whatever education you need, the educational institutions are open to you freely. Doesn't cost you a penny. Oh, I know you're going crazy now. Free education. But who's working this education? The education is being worked by those who admire it to the fullest. Those teachers who are so exciting that it makes the student want to just grasp and learn as much as they, and considering the fact that they're only studying those things that are interesting to them, those things that benefit what their dream and what their aspirations are. And so it makes it that much more pleasurable. And these are the people, my friends, who are teaching us to become in that medical profession by those who love to take care of people and those of us who need them. But what is it, you might say, well, what's the benefit? The doctors, they're serving the public. What's the benefit for them? Outside of getting the sheer pleasure of serving people, what's the benefit? Well, I say it to you like this. In a system like this that appreciates what these individuals are doing for society, we take that same look and place it on every other venue of society, whether it has to do with food production, whether it has to do with clothing, whether it has to do with shelter, everywhere. Knowing, understanding, and expressing the fact they're appreciative of allowing each of us to exercise our gifts. And when we exercise our gifts, each of those gifts are applicable in little ways, designed by the designer, not by us. And it's already set up to prepare enough goods and services of all those things that we have considered as essential, in such an abundance that no one would be without anything: food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare, travel, transportation, you name it. And it's like heaven on earth. So when you ask, who's going to pay for it? Let's take money out the game and let everything that we are and what we are about are an opportunity to be alive. And being alive is being who you are, and being who you are is part of the construct And when it's put together, it's like a canvas that's completed, the best puzzle you've ever seen. It's life fulfilled. And you played the most major part in it. You played 100% in it because we couldn't do a thing without you. We appreciate it, and the door is open for everybody to be alive. I'm saying, who's going to pay for it? If money is preventing that, then take it out of the picture. No, I'm just saying these things to you, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what kind of impact it will have, but as one who says, write my name in as the next United States Senator from the state of Minnesota, I have a vision to take us to the highest heights. I want to see it all for us all. And I want us all to be satisfied. Satisfied because none of us are left out. And that is why I stand before you, ladies and gentlemen, and say, I present this to you, even though you don't know me, even though I'm black, even though I'm poor, as far as finances are concerned. I'll stand before any man and challenge anybody who can express a way of life that's any better than this. And I guarantee you, brother or sister, you do that, and I'm joining with you. But until then, I'm walking this way. And any of you who would like to walk this way with me, feel free to be you. And if that's what it is, that's what it is. Until next time, this is Eddie Marcus saying, bye-bye.